Let's go into a little bit more detail on how you can create your investment plan. Okay, so here's a couple simple steps to create your investment plan so then you can follow it no matter what. And like we just learned in the previous module, so you can not be an emotional buyer and you can stick to your plan. Okay, if you want to start investing, here's the step-by-step investment plan you need to follow. Step number one is you need to define your goals. As an investor, what am I trying to get out of this? Okay, your short-term goals, 1 to 5 years, your medium-term goals, 5 to 15 years, and then your long-term goals, which is 15 plus years. And then right there, keep in the back of your mind, what is the legacy / charity intentions behind this, right? When I pass away, what do I want this to do, right? Because usually our 15-year goal, we're not thinking about passing away unless we're a lot older. But you also want to keep in mind, where do I want this money to go when I pass away, okay? So step number one is define your goals. Why are you investing? What are you going to use this for? Step number two is to assess your risk tolerance. A good question to ask yourself is, how would you react if you saw your portfolio go down 20%? If you'd think, I'd be fine, it will go back up, cool. Maybe you're someone who could invest into crypto. But if you would panic and freak out if you saw your portfolio go down 20%, you shouldn't be buying crypto, okay? Because you're going to panic sell and then you're going to lose money. Another part of assessing your risk tolerance is knowing how long you're going to be invested for. The longer you are invested, the more risky you can invest because it gives you more time for it to get out of the negative and into the positive, right? But if you have very short time horizons for investing, then if you're in very risky investments, they can go down a bunch and then you could lose your money because you're in a short time horizon. How much can you afford to lose? And what is your experience with investing? Those are the questions you need to ask yourself to assess your risk, right? So define your goals, then assess your risk tolerance. Step number three is choose the strategy you're going to follow. And we went over this in the previous course. So it's picking which one. Are you going to go with the beginner strategy? What assets are you going to be buying? What is your portfolio allocation going to be? What's going to be your process of automating your monthly investments? How much are you going to invest? That is all falling into step number three, which is choose your strategy. Okay? Define your goals. Assess your risk tolerance. Choose your strategy. Step number four is to build out the timeline on which you're going to start doing these things, okay? Because none of this matters if you don't do anything, right? What was mistake number one that investors make? Waiting for the perfect knowledge. They don't take action. So step number four is creating a timeline that within month one, I'm going to open my accounts. I'm going to get set with a basic portfolio. Within month three, I'm going to make sure my automatic investments are going. Okay. Within month 6, I'm going to have a process set up where I review my portfolio, whatever it is, whatever strategy you want to follow. But make sure you write down, you must write this down. I will do this by XYZ date. Okay. There's so many studies out there. It's so fascinating that when you write something down, the chance that it happens goes up exponentially. Okay. So what are we at? Step number one of creating your investment plan, define your goals. Step number two, assess your risk tolerance. Step number three, choose the strategy you're going to follow. Step number four, build out the timeline on which you're going to implement the strategy that you're following. And then step number five is make sure that you have ongoing management. Make sure you're checking your portfolio every 3 months. Make sure you're paying your zakat. Make sure you're keeping up to date with it. Make sure you're rebalancing your portfolio. That's all you have to do. There's a lot of information that's been thrown at you, and I understand. But remember, it's not that it's easy, but it's simple. If you follow these steps and you truly learn these steps, this is all you have to do. There's nothing past this. Yes, if you want to be an elite level investor, but if you just want to be a regular investor who can retire sooner, this is all you have to follow. Okay? We got a conclusion, and then I got a final reminder, and then inshallah, you'll be on your way.